to show you how to fix a shed if you have half of your warp in a different shed than the other half. So I'm weaving in this gap at the side here. I'm going merrily along. We'll just do that first. And I've just put this bobbin of the red in without really thinking about which shed I'm in or what's going to happen when I get to the top of that little gap. I'm just filling in that gap and having a good old time here. This problem where you get half of your warp in one shed and half of your warp in another shed happens most frequently when you're doing exactly this, when you're just building shapes. So I'm going to keep building my shape. And what I'd like to be able to do when I get to where the red comes up to what I wove previously is just go straight across. But because I didn't pay attention to where my sheds were, let's look at what happens when I get ready to go straight across. I've put the red in right over the top of the yellow. And so because I did that and they're in the same shed, every one of these warp threads all the way across is going to show on the tapestry. I'll do a couple more picks across that so you can see a little bit more clearly what the problem is here. So you see when I wove the next line in, all of those warp threads are showing because I put one too many passes in right on top of each other, and there's too much yarn in there. There's it can't pack down. So what I need to do is somehow be going two directions at once, but I can't do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to fix this shed. And to do that, I want to be able to weave straight across, but I need something to fill in that spot. So here's the shed I'm working in. You can see, and I've got the red going where it's supposed to be. And if I went straight over, there's the yellow underneath. I need something to fill a little bit of a gap over that yellow. So I'm going to change the shed. And now you can see in the yellow section, these threads are crossed over. I'm ready to weave in there. Instead of weaving with a full thickness, I'm going to take a piece of red yarn that is about the length I need, cut it. I'm going to unply it, and I'm going to put just one thickness. So half of the overall yarn, one ply of the two, or if it were a 4-ply, you do 2 of the 4 plies and put just that in. I'm going to pigtail it out the back. There's a little tiny end there, it's a little bit difficult. You could also just snip these off, but it's a little bit more secure if you pigtail them in. Pigtail that into the back. Okay, so I've got this, it's ready to bead in, and this is just half a thickness of yarn. And you can see when I pack that in, that is just enough to cover that little spot where the warp threads would have shown. Now, continuing, this is the pass I was on. I'll go ahead and take it out so you can see. This is the pass I'm on in my major block of red to come all the way across. Now when I come across, I'm in the correct shed over here. So that little half thickness of yarn did the trick and lined everything up so that I can keep weaving. In French tapestry tradition, they call that frogging or a capot. So there you go. There is fixing a shed.